information came direct from Meghan's ex-husband.
Oh my goodness, hold on to your teacups because the whispers coming out of Hollywood and royal circles right now are explosive. People are saying that Meghan Markle, yes, that Meghan, the Duchess who rewrote the royal rulebook on motherhood, might have quietly erased an entire chapter of her life, a chapter no one was ever supposed to find, and now there's this trail, a chilling trail of sealed records that could flip everything we thought we knew about Meghan's story on its head.
And obviously Trevor Engelson is a very successful TV producer.
A hidden child.
He now has his own family. He's very happy.
You see, this isn't coming from some random gossip rag or an anonymous online rumor. Oh no. Allegedly, this story traces back to none other than her ex-husband, Trevor Engelson. And according to someone who actually knew him personally, Trevor, who's now a successful Hollywood producer, has kept his lips sealed for years. He's never spoken publicly about Meghan, not once, but insiders now claim that through a close friend, he may have quietly confirmed something that's been whispered for ages, that Meghan once made a vision board, and on it was Prince Harry, years before she even met him. Can you even imagine?
She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant. She was thrilled she became a, quote, princess.
Now that alone sounds ambitious, maybe even a little eerie, but when you pair it with long circulating rumors about a secret first marriage in Las Vegas, the whole thing starts sounding like something straight out of a movie. A movie where Meghan wrote, directed, and starred as the heroine herself. And that's where the forgotten name resurfaces, Joe Giuliano. Yes, that's the name fans have dug up again, claiming that Meghan married Joe when she was just 18 years old. According to whispers flooding social media, the two allegedly tied the knot in a small Vegas chapel. Witnesses, paperwork, the whole thing, before quietly having it annulled just months later.
Meghan Markle married for money, that she planned it all from the beginning, and the vision board with Prince Harry on it was revealed to her by someone who knew Trevor Engelson.
But here's the twist. No photos, no records, not a single trace, just silence. And we all know silence doesn't happen by accident. Now here's where jaws really start dropping. If even part of this timeline is true, it would mean Meghan's supposed secret marriage, and possibly even a child, happened years before she ever stepped into Hollywood's spotlight. And that rumored child? A girl named Noel. She's mentioned across online threads as possibly being raised by the Giuliano family in Chicago, kept far away from the cameras, from fame, from everything. It's not confirmed, of course, but what's giving everyone chills is how consistent the stories are. The same names, the same dates, the same mysterious blanks in Meghan's life story. People are saying it sounds impossible, but it fits too neatly to ignore. And guess who's right back in the middle of all this? Trevor Engelson. Rumors say publishers have offered him millions, to tell his side of the story. He refused them all. No interviews, no books, no tell-alls. But those close to him swear his silence isn't about loyalty. It's about something deeper, something heavier. The truth. They say the truth he knows could be louder than anything he could ever say out loud. And that's what's got everyone talking again. Because the question isn't just whether Meghan Markle had a secret life before fame, it's why that life seems to have been wiped clean. Who erased it? And who's finally brave enough to break the silence? This isn't your run-of-the-mill royal gossip. This is a story that slices right through Meghan's polished image, that calm, composed, picture-perfect modern mother, and makes us all wonder, what else did she leave behind? Every chapter Meghan's ever told about herself, the driven student, the struggling actress, the fairy tale wife, suddenly sounds different when you line them up next to the gaps, the missing records, the eerie coincidences that keep popping up like fingerprints she forgot to hide. And right in the middle of it all stands Trevor Engelson, the man who knew her before the transformation, before the palace, before the crown. Those close to Trevor describe him as quiet but observant, deeply private but not bitter, someone who never chased revenge after Meghan ended their marriage. And oh, the way that marriage ended. According to multiple biographers, Meghan didn't just end things. She mailed Trevor her engagement ring. No note, no explanation, nothing but the ring. That single act, cold, sudden, final, has become the emotional symbol fans can't stop dissecting. That was the moment she switched stories, one fan wrote online, from reality to performance. Because after that, things got strange. Meghan has often said she took a year off after high school to find herself. But researchers who've gone digging into her alumni records say there's no proof of any overseas travel, no student exchange, nothing, just A year that vanished. And now, whispers say that instead of traveling, Meghan was quietly living in Chicago, out of sight, with the Giuliano family. And if that's true, that missing year connects directly to the rumored child, Noel. That's the part commentators are calling the most delicate rumor in modern royal history, because it doesn't just challenge Meghan's character, it completely rewrites her story of motherhood. Her public identity has always centered on being the devoted mom, the woman who broke royal tradition, who raised her kids her way. So if there's another child, one the world never knew existed, it's not just scandalous, it's earth-shattering. Online, the obsession has hit fever pitch. Hashtags like #HiddenNoel and #BeforeTheCrown are everywhere. Fans are combing through old event photos, blurry images, and ancient directories trying to link Meghan to Chicago, to the Giulianos, to something. Nothing's verified, but the rumor refuses to die because this story isn't about fashion or fame, it's about identity. And once people start questioning your identity, everything else begins to crumble. What is new in terms of Megyn Kelly's revelation is that it is Trevor Engelson, via an intermediary, who has revealed this story, this existence of the mood board. Trevor Engelson's silence only makes it louder. Those who've spoken with him say he isn't angry, he's haunted. Haunted by what he knows, by what he saw, and by what he's been told never to speak of. And that word, haunted, it's what people can't get out of their heads. Because this silence of his, it isn't empty. It's the kind that echoes. The deeper the story goes, the more every little piece begins to fit. People have wondered for years, how did Meghan Markle reinvent herself so completely? How did she go from a struggling actress in bit parts to a global icon? This picture of compassion, control, and confidence? Well, according to some commentators, the answer isn't in what Meghan became, it's in what she left behind. Trevor Engelson, the ex-husband at the center of all this, reportedly told close friends something chilling, that Meghan had this uncanny ability to move on without ever looking back. Those words, move on without looking back, they've been echoed across royal forums like a warning bell, because it's so Meghan. When she leaves something behind, it's not gradual, she erases it completely. When she left Hollywood, gone. She didn't just leave the city, she deleted an era. When she left the royal family, same thing. She didn't just walk away from the crown, she rewrote the whole story. And now, with these rumors about Joe Giuliano and a secret daughter named Noel, suddenly the pattern looks darker, almost like the first draft of everything that came after. Reports on fan blogs and obscure archives claim that Noel was raised quietly in Illinois by relatives of the Giuliano family, and that the dates line up too perfectly with Meghan's mysterious gap year. Again, no one can prove it, but people can't ignore how many puzzle pieces seem to click into place. Even Meghan's own supporters have struggled to explain that missing chunk of her life, the gap year that's always been described vaguely. No photos, no trips, no real proof, just missing time. And now, fans are asking, was that the year everything changed? Publishers, of course, have smelled blood in the water. Several big names, and we're talking seven-figure offers, approached Trevor with proposals to write a tell-all, and yet every time he said no. A journalist covering those offers claimed Trevor's refusal wasn't about protecting Meghan, it was about protecting himself, because he knows what's on the record, and more importantly, what isn't. That's why speaking publicly could expose him to things he can't risk, legal or otherwise. Even Meghan's biggest defenders can't explain the blanks. They can't explain why her story, which she's always told with such precision, suddenly fades to fog at key moments. He used Diana's favorite perfume, so when they met for the first time, gosh, he couldn't believe it. He thought he'd come from heaven. And I think that all this phoniness is going to drop from her bit by bit because people are so fed up. Everyone has a past, one fan commented online, but hers feels like a deleted file. And honestly, that's the line that stuck with people. Because if there's one thing Meghan's critics and fans agree on, it's that her story feels curated, too perfect, too smooth, and that smoothness, it's starting to look like it was sanded down deliberately. Former acquaintances even claim Meghan once told them she was older than her official birth year. Again, not confirmed, but it adds another eerie wrinkle to the shadow version of her story. Imagine a teenage marriage, a secret annulment, a daughter kept far from the cameras. If even half of that were true, it would change everything. This isn't just about ambition anymore. It's about erasure, the art of disappearing one life to create another. And once the public suspects someone's rewriting their past, every little thing becomes a clue. Every smile, every silence, every no comment. That's when the whispers stop sounding like gossip and start feeling like countdowns. Because if fragments of this story are real, then Meghan Markle has been carrying a secret so heavy it could shatter the very brand that made her famous. The Duchess who built her empire on vulnerability and openness might be guarding the one truth she never wanted exposed. And here's the thing, you can see the pressure now. Every time Meghan's past starts trending again, her public appearances seem to follow a pattern. Perfect posture, perfect smile, calm voice, then a sudden silence. One insider told The Cut that Meghan never reacts right away. She lets the storm burn itself out, but this time, her silence feels different. It feels like waiting. Online detectives have gone wild, tracing deleted posts, vanished photos, even subtle edits to her official biographies. None of it confirmed, but the timing? Uncanny. And through it all, Trevor's name keeps reappearing. Not because he's talking, but because people can't stop circling back to him. He's the one person who knew her before she became a global brand, before Meghan Markle existed. Friends say he was there during the vision board years, when Meghan was talking about goals, fame, and that wild dream of becoming someone impossible to ignore. That's why when commentators like Megyn Kelly revived the Prince Harry vision board story, allegedly shown to them by someone connected to Trevor, it hit like a thunderbolt. It painted a picture not of a dreamer, but of a strategist, someone who didn't just hope for destiny, she planned it, detail by detail. And yet, behind all that ambition, there's this strange, cinematic silence between Meghan and Trevor. She never speaks of him, he never speaks of her, and yet, somehow, their lives keep orbiting each other in headlines, like two planets bound by gravity they can't escape. The ambitious Duchess and the quiet witness, neither attacking, neither defending, just existing in the same unfinished story. Fans are split right down the middle. Some say it's all exaggerated, a digital myth born from fame, envy, and too much internet sleuthing. But others, the detail hunters, the skeptics, point to the patterns, the missing documents, the annulment timing, the alleged child's age, the unverified gap year. And Meghan's silence? It's starting to sound like the loudest thing of all. Even the palace won't touch this. Sources say no official statement will ever address these claims because acknowledging them would give them power. But ironically, that silence might be what keeps this rumor alive. Because when the truth is missing, people fill in the blanks themselves. And this version of the truth, with Trevor, Giuliano, and a girl named Noel, just refuses to fade. If Trevor speaks first, everything changes. If Meghan speaks first, the world will hang on every word. But until then, it's a waiting game, a silent standoff between truth and myth. And the longer the silence stretches, the louder the questions become. When a story gets this big, it stops being about royalty. It becomes a mirror, reflecting our own obsession with fairy tales and reinvention. Because maybe, deep down, the world doesn't just want to see Meghan fall. It wants to know if reinvention always comes at a cost.